Hey there, Scott Peterson from Durazio Peterson. Today we are going to talk about why estate planning is important for young professional families. But first, before we do that, if you have any questions or want to talk with us, feel free to give us a call, hit the contact us form on our website, or message us through any of the platforms that you're currently watching us on. So, estate planning is important for everyone, but in particular, we're going to talk today about young professionals and young professionals with families. And why estate planning is critical for people who fall within that demographic. So, many of us think of estate planning and we think about protecting our assets as we get older and protecting ourselves and our families from if we have to go into a nursing home or if something were to happen to us. But when we have young children and we are, young professionals making our way, building our careers, it's really critical to think about what would happen in the unlikely but possible event that we become incapacitated or we pass away. The sort of morbid but real world example that we always use with clients is, what if you and your wife or your husband go out to dinner and you are unfortunately involved in an accident and you have young kids at home? What happens next? That is the question and the answer as to why this is so important. Sure, there are things that would happen under the law in the event that you had no plan in place, but do you really want to leave it to the system to make those determinations when, with some very straightforward planning, you can set out what you want to happen in the event that something, worst case scenario, were to take place? And when we think about this, we're really thinking about a couple of things. Number one, we're thinking about who would watch your kids in the short term if something happened? Who would be a short-term guardian who would step in right away and say, I will take these children and I will make sure that they are taken care of? Number two, who would be a long-term guardian? Who would be the person to say, I'm going to take these children, I'm going to raise them until they reach the age of 18 or whenever they leave the house? Because that's a critical decision. Often it's one that spouses may not agree on and haven't really thought about. And in many, many cases, the answer to that question is not what would happen if you did no planning at all. Number three, what will happen to our assets and when will they be given to our children? And this is particularly important if you have any substantial assets or you have any insurance policies or you own property or anything of any significant value. And when I say insurance policies, I mean life insurance policies. Because the question that you have to ask yourself is, would we want our child or children to just get a windfall at the age of 18? Most people say, I wouldn't. I would want to structure things in a way that our children would be protected and taken care of as they go through the formative years of their life, as they go to college or get their first job or get married or buy a house or build a career or start a business. All of these things are things that you can control through proper planning and do so in a way that allows your children to grow protected without simply coming into a significant amount of money or assets at a very young age when they may not be in a position to make the best decisions. These are just a few of the examples of why it is critical to do planning as a young professional or a young person starting their career with a young family. Most of us don't think that this becomes necessary until we get older, but I can assure you that doing this early on when you have young kids will buy you a lot of peace of mind and will ensure that if something were to happen, things are in order and things can be taken care of in a way that you want them to happen, not how somebody else wants them to happen. So if you're ready to do it, if you're ready to talk to us about putting a plan together, reach out to us today, contact us through our website, give us a call or message us through any of the platforms that you're viewing this on. And thanks for watching.